All right, we're going to make a graph. We're going to make this sine x overlap that blue graph right there. We're going to do so with a midline, an amplitude, and a phase shift. And what you can see is down here at the bottom, I actually wrote the organized structure in order to do that. That's right over here, a sine x minus c plus k. In this problem, we will only be dealing with a phase shift that has, in which the graph is going to have a period of 2 pi or a b value of 1. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get the easy stuff out of the way. Easy stuff is a midline. Remember that midline cuts the graph in half. So I'm going to take that graph, I'm going to find the middle point, and you can see that the top piece is the same as the bottom piece. And I'm going to put that right where the midline is. That's at the end of the equation, plus k, or plus, in this case, 4. The second step is going to be find the amplitude. So I'm going to go and start at the midline. And when I do that, I'm going to start at the midline and I'm going to count down. And these are all by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I could start here at the midline and work up. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the amplitude is 4. That is right up in the front. And I'm going to count that out. I'm going to put that in there. So midline is 4. The amplitude is also 4. Okay, so it works out fairly easy there. And now what we're going to do is we are going to find the phase shift. Now, the phase shift is probably one of the harder things to do with sine curves. So what we do is I always start with the midline and I determine, well, what type of graph am I dealing with? Well, I am dealing with sine, and sine starts on the midline on the y-axis and it goes up. This is what sine always does. So it starts on the midline on the y-axis and then it goes upward. Well, you'll notice that the blue graph does not do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for a spot in which the blue graph starts on the midline and goes up. So what I'm going to do is real quickly, I'm just going to trace this graph from the y-axis, and I'm going to trace it until I find something where it's on the midline and going up. Okay, so let's see that. All right, trace, I said, well, that's not happening here. It's still going down, way down at the bottom, and then all of a sudden I start to approach the midline. Look what happens. I am now on the midline, and guess what? It is going up, just like it is right there. It's on the midline and it's going up. Well, all I need to do now is figure out, well, where is that? That occurs at 5 pi over 3. So the phase shift is I'm going to write 5 pi over 3. And it is to the right. Well, how do we put that in? If it's to the right, well, we put minus 5 pi over 3. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say, okay, well, let's type that in. X minus 5 pi over 3. Now check it out. It overlaps. We are in good shape. We just went ahead and added in a phase shift to our sinusoidal equations and graphing.